All right, welcome back, everybody, to another Sound Off podcast here. I am Mr. Sound Off. This video here is going to be me sounding off about my NFL Week 4 power rankings. All right, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying the videos. Hopefully you guys got the chance to go check out my Week 4 picks for the NFL season that I put out a little bit ago here today. We got the Thursday night game coming up here shortly, and that's between the Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals here tonight. But I did want to get out my NFL power rankings here as well for Week 4. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing, telling others, and leaving any comments you might have about either my picks, the power rankings, anything else you want me to cover. Like I said, I'm also going to put another video together here soon regarding the Major League Baseball season. We're near the end of the season on that there as well. Congratulations to the Brewers, a whole lot of other teams that have been clinching here recently. This goes back to when I was in Milwaukee last year. Visiting over there and got to see a few Brewers games. That was a ton of fun. So looking forward to the Major League Baseball playoffs. Also, Nick Kurtz and the A's, you're amazing. All right, he had the longest home run in Major League Baseball this season recently. By far the American League Rookie of the Year. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on some Major League Baseball action. But we're going to go into NFL Week 4 power rankings here. Some teams that I got have jumped up and down pretty good amount here that you'll see here from last week. Hopefully you guys again checked out the video from last week. I'll also start kind of displaying these and showing what the difference is week to week, how far teams have gone up and down, those kind of things here. Hopefully either I can go back and edit this or maybe next week I'll start adding those in there as well. All right, so without further ado, we're going to start at the bottom of the list, as I always do. At number 32, the perennial bottom ranked team here of every week, which is the New Orleans Saints. Number 32, number 31, the Tennessee Titans. 30, we have the New York Giants. 29, we have the Miami Dolphins. Watch out if they don't win this game here. You might see some coaches all of a sudden. There could be a few of these teams here. The coaches are going to be on the hot seat, but especially I think those Dolphins, how they've been playing. If they don't win this game here, you can see them possibly having a new coach in there. Number 28, the Raiders. I mean, what do they do well? Really? I mean, they're kind of poor on all phases of the game. So 28, the Raiders. Bengals at 27. I think Jake Browning will play a whole lot better than he did last week, but how great is he? Is he really going to play? He's obviously not Joe Burrow. Hardly anyone is. Their defense is horrible, so their defense is not going to keep them in the games. Good thing is as long as Jake Browning can get it out to the playmakers they do have playmakers, so they can go up a little bit from there, but we'll be interested to see where the Bengals get to this year. At 26, we have the Jets. I think the Jets do have some capability of rising more throughout this list. I think Justin Fields is actually playing pretty decent with them, and he's still kind of getting used to this new system with the Jets. So we'll see. Sorry, there's a noise going on in the house there. Defense, still their main piece, but not as good as it once was a couple years ago and under Saleh and everything got there. So they're still at 26. 25, the Patriots. I still believe this team is going to rise quite a bit throughout the year. Drake May, again, he didn't start the beginning of last year, so this is almost kind of version 1.1, 1.2, whatever for Drake May being a young quarterback. They also have the most free agents brought onto their team out of any team in the NFL. So Patriots at 25. Number 24, Panthers just laid it on the Falcons. I don't know what to exactly think of the Falcons or the Panthers, but they definitely did climb quite a bit from last week. Number 23, the Cleveland Browns. Great game they played against the Green Bay Packers. Really, again, Packers should have won that game, but the fact that they were in it the entire time and then did pull it out at the end for the Cleveland Browns, huge victory for them. I also think their defense is really that good that they're going to keep their team in the game pretty much every week. They actually had more yardage than the Ravens in that game. Their offense had so many bad turnovers in that game as the reasons why the Ravens looked like they dominated that game. But really, the Browns actually had a very good game against the Ravens there. 22, the Dallas Cowboys. I actually thought they were kind of going to be climbing up further more on this list. Unfortunately, then CeeDee Lamb gets hurt. The defense is still not great. I think we'll have to see a few weeks down the road, maybe a good month and a half down the road, where the Cowboys are with CeeDee Lamb once he comes back, to see if they're going to be able to start climbing up more there. I do think, by the way, actually that game, Packers-Cowboys, this very well might be the Cowboys Super Bowl for this year, is this game versus Micah Parsons and the Cowboys, trying to get some revenge for what the Packers came in and did to the Dallas Cowboys a few years ago. Jerry Jones talked about it on his special, how bad that loss was for Dallas Cowboy Nation. Now he trades Micah Parsons away. They got Kenny Clark coming over there from Green Bay. I think they're going to play their best game, their most effort out of the entire season in that game. So, like I said last week, I thought that was a trap game for the Packers going in against the Browns. Looks like it was. Browns, I think, are a little underrated, even by myself. I think it wouldn't surprise me if Cowboys really put up a good fight in this game here against the Packers too. But they're at 22. Number 21, the Houston Texans. They can't score. Their defense is awesome. That's the only reason why they're up this high. But they've got to start winning some games too, or else their coach might be in the hot seat. And then we have to start looking at CJ Stroud as well, and kind of, is he what we thought what he was as well. Number 20, probably my biggest drop from last week, that'd be the Atlanta Falcons, a team that I still think is going to get better throughout the year. But for you to get completely dominated like you did versus the Carolina Panthers, for as much talent as you have on offense and defense, I know that they're a pretty young team, but you just have a ton of top-tier, top-pick talent all across the board, and they're still not putting it together, at least not like they should. I mean, they weren't even anywhere near close in that game. I think they got, I think they didn't score any points against the Panthers defense, and the Panthers defense is not really known as a great defense either. And they also gave up 30-plus points against them, so their defense wasn't doing anything either. I might be out on the Falcons. Number 19, the Jags. I think they're putting together a decent season so far. They're 2-1. Big matchup this week going on against the 49ers, and that game I believe is in San Francisco as well. 49ers are dinged up, so this is going to be a good test for them there. 18th, the Cardinals. Pretty good run defense. Kyler Murray can have special games. They did lose James Conner, so we'll have to see exactly where they're going to go from here. They're 18th. The Chicago Bears, I have them at 17th. Chicago Bears, I think, are actually one of the more solidly built teams in all of the NFL. I think if anything's holding them back, or anything would hold them back throughout the year, it would be their second-year quarterback in Caleb Williams. I'm not saying that he is holding them back, but they have stud receivers, tight ends, number one picks, offensive linemen, top running back, all kinds of playmakers on defense. Maybe not a great defensive cornerback room, but a solid team all the way around. So, like I said, if they're not higher on this list going forward, it's probably due to the quarterback play itself. Number 16th, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see exactly how Aaron Rodgers can be. Can he be consistent? That's what they say a lot of times about older players, is them being consistent week to week, right? Can he have a great game? Sure. Can he have bad games? Need to cut those out, right? But their defense, that's really going to be what is going to turn around their season or not. Last week, 5 turnovers. I don't think that's sustainable, but can they hold good teams to, 10, 13, 17 points, that kind of thing? I'm not sure at this point here. So, I have them kind of middle of the road at 16th. Good matchup because they're going up against a team right above them in the Minnesota Vikings in Dublin. Vikings, very good on defense. Carson Wentz, played pretty good last week, but he's also kind of known for turning the ball over. Playing against the Steelers here, wasn't that much of a fan or, hugely impressed by J.J. McCarthy, so they're waiting for him to come back, but he played horrible in 7 out of 8 quarters when he was playing, so, where are the Vikings exactly? 14th, the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix hasn't really turned it around completely yet. Played a little better last week, but their defense is also keeping them in there, so they're 14th. Seattle Seahawks, good defense. Players are playing pretty well on offense, but the numbers aren't like eye-popping or anything like that there, but it'd be interesting one to see how they go throughout the year. San Francisco 49ers at 12th. You know, Bosa is now out, so all of a sudden you can't lean on that. Kittle's still out. He will come back, but you know, is that offense good enough? You know, without those guys there on defense, can a defense get better throughout the year? I think it will. They do still have the easiest schedule in the NFL, so I do still think they're going to be a potential playoff team, but you can't keep getting more of these injuries throughout the year. At 11, you have the Colts. You know, I always keep saying they're like the New Orleans Saints from last year. They've been playing against weak competition, but they've been beating them up. All right, you can only beat the teams that you're playing against, and they've been doing it, and they've been doing it handily. I think this week is a really good, tough measure, good test for the Colts on the road versus the Rams. We're going to see, you know, if they hang in this game, or of course if they beat the Rams, they're going to be going up. If they all of a sudden get dominated or not able to hang around this game, you know, this is going to be their first real test of the year. Number 10, you have the Commanders. Played well even without Jaden Daniels last week in there with Marcus Mariota. Good defense. Do still have some troubling signs with the Commanders, the oldest team in the NFL, but so far good enough to stay in there at number 10. The Chiefs did have that kind of get-right game, played very well against the New York Giants. Offense wasn't doing anything crazy. Giants are supposed to be known for their defense, but they're also a young team there. Offensively, the Giants looked horrible. They ended up getting rid of Russell Wilson. Benching him. So I couldn't really raise the Chiefs a ton, but they're there at 9. And this is going to be a huge barometer game, another matchup where they're playing the team right above them. It's Chiefs versus Ravens this week. Ravens defense. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of the Ravens defense. I even had a side bet going on with somebody as far as the Ravens goes and how many points they would give up to the Lions. And I won that bet because the Lions definitely scored around kind of what I thought they were going to score against that Ravens defense. But the Chiefs can't score a ton of points so far on offense. They're still a little bit dinged up, still missing some of their guys. So I think they're going to be able to take advantage of that. The Ravens are, and score more points than the Chiefs can score and win this game here this weekend. So I got Ravens at 8. Number 7, the Bucks. Been playing very well as well. Again, kind of who have they been playing against? But I think they keep having solid games. You know, they're not playing like the worst teams out there, but maybe not the best teams either. But they put it all together. Baker Mayfield's been playing very well, so they're there at 7. The Lions can keep rising back up on this list. The Detroit Lions, obviously, last 2 games, just a ton of points they're scoring. Who are they scoring those points against? Right, scoring points maybe against a couple teams that are giving up a lot of points there, but at least they're able to do it. And they got a ton of sacks against Lamar last week in that game there too. So the Lions are for real as well. At number 5, the Rams. I know they lost that game, but they were right in there, right all the way to the end to win that game versus the number 1 team in the Eagles. Their defense normally has been really good the last, this year and even last year as well. Devontae is looking for real again. So I got the Rams at number 5. The number 4 team is another LA team in the Chargers. I think they're looking really good on all sides of the ball, offense and defensively wise. Can continue to see them sticking around there at the top of these rankings. At number 3, the Packers did lose last week, but it was a tough game. Like I said, I did kind of think that going into that game, it was a trap game. They had a bunch of their players out. Players got hurt even in practice during the week itself. They, you could say shoulda, coulda, woulda, that kind of thing there. But they basically win that game without a blocked field goal at the end from the Browns, with kind of everything going against the Packers in that game. Browns, again, are legit on defense. They're going to do that to a lot of teams. And again, I think it was more than anything, it was the trap game in between the first games of the year, hearing all this hype about them, and then all of a sudden this Cowboys game going on this week. So I still got the Packers there at number 3. Number 2, Bills. Have they been fully tested on defense? Well, they were with Lamar, and he scored a ton of points against them. Otherwise, they haven't really been a lot, but they look very good on defense. Offense, of course, with Josh Allen looks phenomenal. So Bills there at number 2. They're tough out no matter what. And number 1, the Eagles, they just keep winning. They just keep finding ways to win, whether or not it's running for 200 yards and hardly passing, or all of a sudden they do have to pass some, or they have to get a blocked field goal. That's a championship type team. So, again, can't knock them down. They keep winning. They win against good teams. So the Eagles are at number 1 still, and that is my my week 4 power rankings for the NFL. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, leave any comments down below about my power rankings. Tell me where I'm right, tell me where I'm wrong, and let me know some other videos you want me to put together, all right? Thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoy the videos.